I'm Barb Gale from Keller Williams Consultants, and I have the pleasure of talking to Jay Bialecki from Rapid Mortgage today about obtaining mortgages during the coronavirus. I hope we can answer some of your questions regarding this subject. So Jay, let's dive in. Tell me what you've noticed is different in this market than what we've experienced in the past due to the virus.
Yeah, Barb, thanks. So, there's quite a bit of differences between what we saw in 2008 compared to today. There were many more underlying economic conditions that led to what we saw in 2008 and the subsequent recession. One of the biggest things that we saw were there were a lot less stringent things to qualify for your mortgage. For example, you could get 100% financing with stated income, which is not the case today. Now, on a better note, I will say get back to work in June. I think that we can expect a very rapid recovery to the housing market.
Okay, let's start out with the tough questions, Jay. Do you work with buyers who have been furloughed? If so, can they own, and how does that work?
So yes and yes. We definitely do work with people who were furloughed. One of the bigger manufacturers around here is Honda, who's currently furloughed right now. So the way we work with that, we can still get them pre-approved, where it's just kind of a contingent pre-approval. We can go one of two ways. If they can qualify based on their reduced income today, then we can qualify them, we can approve them, we can close as normal. If they're furloughed and their reduced income is not enough to qualify, what we'll do then is we'll just structure the contract so that we close at least 24 hours after they go back to work. When we do that, they don't get penalized at all for being out of work, and we can use their full income, qualify them, and close the loan as normal.
Wow, that's great. So let me ask you this. What are some of the most common questions that people ask you, and how do you answer them?
So that's a great one. The one I get the most, especially with what's going on right now and the confusion, is now a good time to buy? And I would say this: if you're secure in your job, I would say now is a fantastic time to buy. And one of the biggest reasons is you've got less buyers out there in the market right now. And so therefore that equates to less competition. And when you were in a hot market and a competitive bid environment where you may have seen 15, 20 bids at the same time, now that's reduced. So your likelihood of actually winning that bidding process is a lot stronger.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's great. So I know rates we've talked about that, but they seem to vary from day to day. Sometimes they seem to even vary from hour to hour. Why is that?
Yeah, so rates are affected by many different factors, some of which, but not all, are included are stocks, the Fed decisions, bond pricing, to name a few. Right now, there's a lot of volatility in the stock market, and that equates to movement in rates. So that's why we're seeing investors kind of testing the waters and trying to figure out which direction this market's going to go. But the good news is, with all that volatility, we can approve borrowers with a 640 or greater credit score, and rates are in the mid threes.
Wow, that's awesome. One more question: how have any of the Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae guidelines changed, or what has changed?
So Fannie and Freddie really haven't changed. Actually, things have eased a little bit, and one of the things is the ability to do drive-by appraisals. Other than that, it's pretty much business as usual.
Do you have any other tips or information that you'd like to share with our audience, Jay?
I do. So there's been a lot of attention around being able to skip mortgage payments and things like that. The biggest tip that I can give you right now is pay close attention to protecting your credit. And what I mean with that is, if you're in a financial situation where you just can't make a payment, before you skip that payment, reach out to your creditor, let them know and have in place to help you with that. Don't just assume that there won't be any negative effects because of the current economic situation. Also, if you can find any way to make those payments, do that, because the concern would be if you skip a couple payments just because you can, and then you get behind, and then maybe you get an accelerated payment schedule, you may be in a worse financial situation then, because you have to repay what you didn't pay plus what you currently owe. So overall, I would say watch your credit and do everything that you can to make your payments on time. if you can't make your payments on time, call those creditors before you
That's
skip
really,
payments.
really great information, Jay. I really so much appreciate your input. And I look forward to having more of these Zoom updates as we try to determine what the new norm is in real estate financing. We have chosen to partner the Gale Group with Rapid Mortgage because they have the integrity, the rates, the products, and the service that exceeds our industry standards. If they directly for any other questions or apply for a loan, he can be reached at 614-902-2891 or by email at jbialecki@rmc.com. We will try to answer all of your questions quickly, and we would love your business and would be happy to assist you in all your real estate needs. Thank you for listening.